Hi guys, welcome to the Man United Agenda, and I am joined today by Bath Time, Dora, and a special guest. It's Ade. Ade, my good friend and my work colleague as well. He's come to join the Man United Agenda from his luxurious home today, somewhere in Lagos. No, he's actually in the UK. So start with you, Bath Time. Bath Time, how you doing, man? We're back. We're on this. How you feeling, man? Euros is over. We're focusing on now on pre-season, getting fit and friendlies. Everything good?
Yeah, really excited Monday. I thought last night's episode ended on one of the greatest things ever of Mimi going to the terrace. And it was brilliant, wasn't it? And I'm a little bit shocked at how much movement and drama is going on around United at the moment. So I'm pleased to talk to everyone about it tonight.
Good. Well, you've been keeping me up to date about it, so yeah, I'm interested as well. Dora, how are you feeling, girl? Good to see you. Obviously, it's all over with the Euros and everything else, but yeah, like Bath Time says, a lot of movement on the transfer market going on. So yeah, interesting times, eh?
Yeah, I'm actually relieved to being back to club football because I like, as I said multiple times, I love international football and all that, but I just miss club football. In all honesty, I just miss it. And Olympic Games are coming soon, so that will kind of be, that event is going to, make my summer even better because I love Olympic Games. But club football, especially when it comes to Manchester United, I'm always excited. And yeah, there are some. We are moving, as you guys say in the UK. We move, it looks promising. It looks promising, and I'm cautiously positive, and I cannot wait to start to talk about it.
Brilliant. Okay, my brethren, Ade, how you doing, man? Ade, you've come from Nigeria. You're now settled in the UK. Tell us about your affiliation with Manchester United Football Club. Why do you like them? What was your experience like going to the ground? And what are things looking up for you with the club right now?
So I became a Man United fan because my mom got me a Man United 2006 jersey with I just fell in love with the club, and then I got one also with the Rooney number 10 jersey, and that was just the beginning of my love for the club.
Yeah.
I countless of times snuck out of boarding school to go watch football, Champions League finals. I have a bunch of football memories with the club. There was the Man United Barcelona Champions League final that we lost 2-1, happened to be on my birthday and we lost. That was like the saddest I've ever been. But yeah, it's been a love and hate relationship with the club, but it's still all love. And I think I visited Old Trafford during last season, and it was exciting. I experiencing the football culture, watching the players play live, watching a bunch of Man United fans adore the club. It was immense. It was good. I love the club.
So you went up for a midweek game, didn't you?
Yes,
late last season.
Yes, I saw the last home game against Newcastle, which we won.
Yeah. Wow. And is it true about the stadium? Is the stadium in a bad state?
I really can't say for sure. It did not rain, so
yeah.
Luckily.
Okay. Let's do a few comments and then we'll come back to things because we've got a lot to talk about today. Big up Lucky Singh. He says a deal is being reached for 28 million with Mason Greenwood going to Marseille. We discussed that the other day. So that seems to be going through. He's flying over to France right now. Thanks, Lucky Singh. We've got Bila in the house as well saying, who needs Fabrizio when you have Lucky Singh? Indeed. Big up to Solo. How you doing, Solo? Been busy today. We've been chatting. Richard Hawkins, how you doing, man? Welcome. Good evening. Good evening to Neil, old-time Man United fan. He's been going for years. So, yep, he's backing us up as well about that story. So it seems to be going through. We've got Sub Vids in the house. How you doing, man? Thank you for the video you sent us. Vincent Bullock is also in the house. How you doing, Vincent? Chat Sport, Matty. You guys are hanging around as well. Let's stick with it. Press the like button, guys. Bar is in the house as well. Talking about, you can see here, talent loan is enough to break through at United. A lot will hinge on the sale of senior players and incoming injuries as well for the first team. McTominay, Rashford on a break. Simon Warner, how are you, sir? Greetings, gang. How is everyone? We're great, thank you. Big up to Stephanie Griffiths as well. She's giving you a thumbs up, Ade. Welcome, Ade. And here's Bilal saying Ade is probably the same age as me. we're not going to get into ages. Ade looks young. He looks younger than he is, I'm sure. Let's see. Simon Warner saying, not a good start to the preseason, was it? Of course not. And we've got the GOAT Sage Football. Big up the panel. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Guys, make sure you interact. We will be coming to the comments. We've got a lot to talk about today. First of all, considering we've got a special guest today, I want to speak to Ade. Ade, what's your thoughts on, if I was to ask you who's the top goal scorer for Nigerian goal scorer in the Premier League, who would be the first top goal scorer? Who scored the most goals in the Premier League as a Nigerian?
Yakubu Ayegbeni.
Yakubu? Okay, who's next?
I'm not sure, but maybe Obafemi Martins.
Okay. Do you want to throw out? I've got 10. I've got the top 10. So, bath time, Dora. Any Nigerians would be the top 10 scorers in the Premier League?
Kanu, Moses.
Kanu will be there. Moses, Okocha.
You think Okocha's there?
Yeah, it should be top 10. Yeah.
Danny Shittu.
He's a centre back.
Yeah, he might have got 6 or 7 goals.
Okay, all right.
Yobo, since we're picking Igalo. Igalo was decent at Watford. Yeah.
Okay. What about Eric Bailey? He's not Nigerian. Swinton. All right, here's a list. Let's see how well you've done. All-time Premier League top goal scorers up to date.
And Ichebe. Oh my God.
You were right. Any shocks there? Anyone you're surprised with?
Yeah, Ifan, Ekoko, Shalom. Yeah, Iheanacho had a good season, yeah.
You're telling me that Okocha didn't get more than 20 goals in the Premier League?
That's how it seems.
Wow, that's a shock to me.
Bath time, you're picking a front two. Who are you going to pick?
I'm probably going to go for Martins and Kanu, as I think they work well together. Like, good hold-up player, Kanu. Martins was good on the last man, like running channels and things.
We're going to come to you, Ade. You're picking the front two. Which two would gel well together?
Martins and Yakubu.
Okay. Dora, which two would you pick out of these Nigerian stars?
I mean, when I was a young girl, I'm still young, but younger, I remember Martins. Like, I had very fond memories of him, even at Inter Milan, right? And, in the Premier League as well. Like, I always loved the way he, played and the way he always celebrated his goals. He was so exciting, entertaining. So, yeah, I mean, you took my picks, guys. Like, I either go with Martins or Yakubu or Martins and Kanu. I mean, those are, how do you say, Nigerian Premier League greats, I would say. And, when you look at it, right, those three kind of get in your head first. I mean, no disrespect, like Kelechi Iheanacho also, he has, where is he currently playing? He's in still at Leicester, or he went somewhere else?
I think he might be still be at Leicester. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so he is promoted once again. So he has a chance to actually, get his tally of goals even higher. So yeah, I mean, he scored a lot. I'm actually shocked how many he scored. So yeah.
Was Koku at Wimbledon?
Yes, he was.
Is he your top pick there on Monday?
No, he's not. He played in Norwich, didn't he? He was a very big, athletic, fast guy. But no. Yakubu was great to watch his track sport. Scored some brilliant goals, no doubt about it. Someday Eddie will feature on that list. We got Obuwenge tried to sign for QPR. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Last transfer day, and Yakubu and Kanu would be good, and Kanu and Martins together. Yeah, so we start off in honor of our guest Ade. There's some Nigerian players from the past. All right, first topic, guys. Let's get down to it. Obviously, there's been change in developments, but I did put this story up about Leny Yoro. Real Madrid were confident they were the youngsters' preferred destination, and offered Lille a fee of 20 million, hoping the player's preference would outweigh any other deal. But United, however, crashed the party with a 60 million offer and turned the tables. Despite not wanting to sign for the English side initially, they are now making serious advances towards securing the signature. Decision is now pending, with Euro is being pressured by Lille and its entourage and Manchester United representatives to join the Premier League club, Man United. He has not made the final decision yet. The Red Devils, however, are now a serious option. The pressure now shifts to Real Madrid to see if they will tweak their offer to take a more competitive stance or shift their eyes towards Plan B, with Lille accepting United's offer. Time is running out for Florentino Perez and co to salvage the deal. Okay, I'm going to come to you first, Time. There's been some developments since then, since I've made this slide. Do you want to just update us on what's been going on?
Real Madrid have come back in with a new offer and are very likely to sign him.
What do you know about the offer? What's been said and what's been done?
The tweet that I saw was that Real Madrid will make a new offer for Leny Yoro, but Manchester United are pushing for their deal. The defender will give priority to Real Madrid. So I think what we'll see is if he doesn't agree to come tomorrow or possibly on Thursday, we'll pull out of the deal and go back to De Ligt as long as his nose isn't at a joint. Okay. Which mine certainly would be a Monday if they did this to me.
How are you feeling about this, Ade? So obviously you've watched Man United recently. We had a poor season last year. We need to strengthen centre-backs. How do you feel about the deal for someone so young? And do you think we can compete with Real Madrid?
I mean, it's Real Madrid. Real Madrid gets whoever they want. They are that big. They have that much pull power. I mean, we've gone head-to-head with Real Madrid tons of times, and the player would always pick Real Madrid ahead of Man United. Man United is not playing Champions League football. Real Madrid is offering you Champions League football. You could end up winning any cup competition you're playing. So I mean, it's coming from, I'm a Man United fan, but if the player does not want the club, if it's based on any other person pressuring you to join the club, then join whatever club you want. Then I think Matthijs de Ligt is interested in joining the club, so let him come. But yeah, we need a centre back because the defense was really, really leaky last season. So we need to sign centre backs. I was hoping we get Brent White, but Everton is playing the hardball. But let's see. So yeah, once Leny Yoro decides to join Real Madrid, then we could go for other defenders. I think the offer is still on for De Ligt, so we could go for that one.
Okay, Dora, how are you feeling about this? Because do you really want to play it? Got his eyes set on Real Madrid, and is he being forced? They twisting his arm to come. Would you want someone like that who's not really committed for the club? And we've obviously discussed defenders a lot. How do you feel about Yoro compared to the other guys on our shortlist?
I mean, he obviously has the higher ceiling, right? He's young, he's exciting. He has a lot of room to improve. Real Madrid obviously, throw their eyes or claws on him, and they hope he can be new Rafael Varane or whoever they want to have, for the next 10 years as their starting centre back, which is, smart from them, right? Even though they won everything, they are always trying to improve. And, it's interesting because, even some other players like Tchouaméni and Camavinga, who signed in the last 2 seasons for Real Madrid, they didn't necessarily start every single game, right? We always saw Modric or Kroos in front of them. They only, it kind of felt like they had a year off where they needed to, ease into the team, learn the reins, and, then start. And, look, as Ade said, I think it's obvious that Real Madrid have so much power, right? They are, the most, popular, the biggest club in the world, and it's obvious that a lot of these young players they're Real Madrid, fans, or their dream is to play for Real Madrid. So yeah, but I was like, if we are doing like if our guys are working on Euro deal. Is it true that we are stalling the De Ligt deal and we are not trying to sign him at the same time? Is that true? So while they are working with Yoro, they are stalling the De Ligt deal, right? That's why it isn't, done yet.
It's one or the other, Dora, according to David Ornstein. We'll either sign Yoro or we'll sign De Ligt. And also, fun fact, the only player Madrid never got that they wanted, De Gea.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh yeah, print
That's
machine.
the only
Yeah,
bloody one.
yeah, print machine in
Is that
Fax
2014.
machine, Dora. Print
Sorry,
oh yeah.
printer.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, the kid said he wants to, he put Real Madrid as his priority. Why not go for De Ligt immediately? Like, it's always kind of a red flag for me. Now, of course, those are youngsters. They always change their minds, when they come to the club and they have a chance to prove themselves. Manchester United aren't a small club. We are big. But it's just, if you're not 100% keen on joining the club, why not go for a guy who actually, like he said, he wants United and no one else. He said it to his agent, Matthijs de Ligt. Why not go for him? And that's my kind of like I would immediately go for De Ligt and try to sign one more center back, because apparently we are listening for offers for Victor Lindelof, and I think that's possibly another center back that is going to leave the club. So we need to focus on another one. Is it going to be Brent White? I doubt it. Is it going to be someone else? Like, I need at least 2 center backs this summer, because we cannot go on like we did last season.
Most certainly. Let's go to the comments quickly before we move on. Stephanie's saying here, Lenny Longlegs, my preference over Delitment. Good one. But I would be happy with either or both. After I'm saying it's one or the other. Lucky Singh saying, I'm pushing for a Leny Yoro for Manchester United. I want him here. So Lucky's demanding him to come. Pay the money for Brentwaite, says Andrew Williams. Hi, Andrew. Hope you're doing well. Richard Hawkins saying here, here's the thing. I would love Yoro, but only if he genuinely wants to come. We can't go back to playing players to come. Players must want to wear that red shirt. That's a good point. Braithwaite is going to be worth double and 50 million in 2 years, says Andrew Williams. We'll talk about that. Matthew Bassett saying he's 60 or 70 million for Braithwaite right now. They're selling players, so they should be all right, Everton. Stephanie Griffith saying Real Madrid always get what they want, time to buck the trend. So, okay, we should go for it. I'm pushing Leny Yoro. Our project will start line will be Martinez and Johnny Evans, says Lucky Singh. Braithwaite is the one for me, says Chat Sport. Andrew saying here, now Matt, go make your judgment. Sorry, I tagged that for some reason. Big G saying here, Madrid will have to follow FFP. I know if they sign Mbappe for free, technically, but the deal for him has hit Madrid's transfer spend as well, because it's such a big deal, isn't it? Simon Warner saying here, I think if a decent offer is not made for Braithwaite, then he will stay at Everton as well. So obviously, there's a lot of talk here, a lot of comments coming through about Real Madrid. Stephanie saying here, Madrid stopped us from getting Benzema, Modric, and Varane, or was it our lovely owners? We're competing. We are competing now. And the total deal from Mbappe is 150 million, so it's not entirely free. Just before we move on, Bath time, I want you to assess something. If we do get Euro, I did get some data up, and this is your table. You need to dine out on this and let us know what's going on here with Euro.
Right. So, like, what you see there is the partnership between Yoro and Martinez. Although, do you have the other picture? No, the other one of his position on the pitch.
No, unfortunately, I didn't understand it. I didn't put
So
it up.
Yoro plays like most top teams do, or at least possession-based teams. Yoro is the outside right centre back in a back three, and in that position, you're mainly looking at defending wide areas and so on. I'm so disappointed you don't have the actual one that I wanted. But right, what we've got is someone who's really good in the air. And who's an adequate passer of the ball, but doesn't really break. He doesn't break lines in any form. He doesn't carry. He doesn't pass progressively. But he's good at intercepting. So if we have Yoro at the back, we're going to need 3 players. So it'd be him, Martinez, and someone else in order to sort of get the ball from our first line to our second line. But like, I can't really do much more with that slide. I'll get the proper one for you.
Okay.
Hang on.
I do apologise about that. Yeah, I'm just trying to get more judgment on what Euro really offers us. I've only seen sort of YouTube videos. I haven't seen much more than that. Have you seen much of his game, Addy? from Euro? Have you seen
No,
play or how he plays?
I got to check him on YouTube, and looks decent. It looks like a younger version of Varane. The long legs. I mean, he's French. There's lots of similarities. He covers ground well, wins area duels, but like you said, he does not make those line breaking passes. So it's but Martinez would definitely complement that because Martinez makes those line breaking passes.
Yeah.
But it looks decent. It looks decent. It looks decent. It looks good for the money. The ceiling is quite high. He's young. He would you never can tell how good he's going to develop. So I mean, he's worth the money, but he does not want the club. So can't force him to.
Okay. Eddie Football Waffles in the house. How you doing, Eddie? He said he's English and Nigerian, by the way. I said it before, so another Nigerian on board. Here's a comment from Stephanie Griffith saying Euros only 18, massive room for improvement with proper centre back Rudiger or Licha. So yeah, Licha is a good player, isn't he, for us? All right, shall we move on, or we got to bring something up half time?
Well, do you get the feeling, Amondo, that this could be like the sequel to Frankie de Jong?
No, I think we won't go down that road again. That would be really frustrating for the fan base if we started doing that. What we want to see is like short, punchy deals getting done. You refuse us, we're not messing around. We're going to walk away, and don't turn back. Don't look back in anger, or like Aswad, don't turn around because you'll see my. I'm just bringing song titles. What do you think, Dora? You like that, don't you?
Of course, I love your music puns. They're amazing, absolutely amazing.
do you think, like, Amondo, do you think that, like, for an 18-year-old, I have seen quite a lot of Yoro. Like, I've seen his last 25 his last 25 duels, and he's lost the majority of them, but it looked like it was because of sort of experience and things like that. Because he's 18 years old, and a centre back for me peaks at about 29. So he's about 11 years off, like the peak he's going to be. If you had the choice, like, do you think that it's more sensible to get a ready-made centre-back in De Ligt, or buy someone who in 10 years' time could possibly be the best in his position?
If you're asking me, I like the idea of getting Euro in now because it's about development. We want to prove that we can develop players again rather than buying ready-made players. Let's get someone in, develop him, and make him a superstar, and we can say we've done that, and then that would attract other young players to come to us, knowing that look at Euro. He started at Man United at 18 years old and went on to be one of the best players. We're seeing that with Saliba right now. He's like, I've seen him just be named in the team of the tournament for the Euros. Everyone's raving about Saliba. He's done really well in the Premier League. He looks like an assured centre back, and Arsenal will take the credit for this. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that will make Arsenal a more attractive club to say, look, we can turn people around. And if you're looking to sign the next great young player, you can say, look at what we did with Saliba. We can do the same for you. So I think it's good to bring players in that are not ready-made, but there's ones you can develop.
Yeah, I agree with you because I think the new ownership made some statement about. I think there was this video about would you sign Mbappe, and the new owners made a comment saying, he'd rather sign a young player than then develop him to be as good as Mbappe. I mean, Man United is known for the youthful side of things, bringing in. We have the class of 90 what? Two, yeah, the class of 92. I mean, look at Garnacho and Meno now. They were both in. They were both in each continental finals. It's one of the core value of Man United, growing players and all of that. I mean, yeah, Euro might not be from the academy, but trusting an 18-year-old player and making him turning him to a superstar like we did with Ronaldo. There we are, Rooney. It's one of the exciting things about the club.
Yeah,
are you not worried?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, are you not worried that we might be having a sort of model where, like, we're a really high-class Dortmund or Brighton, and that players like Garnacho, who has expressed repeatedly that he'd like to play for Real Madrid, and Yoro and, dare I say it, Kobe, like, when we develop them, that's great. Like, it's great to develop a player, but we've got to keep them, because I don't want to turn into a feeder club for Real Madrid. My fear with this transfer, if it happens, is that, like, we are not going to see the best of Yoro for a decade, right? Like, he's not going to be as good as now. At 28, he's going to be amazing, but that's 10 years' time. Like, I would prefer to sort of have him in 4 or 5 years' time, after another club has developed him and he's ready to take the step on. And I think that is what will probably happen if we sign him, that we'll see him and Garnacho around the same time leaving to Real Madrid.
But also, I mean, they need to win a Champions League, 2-3 Premier Leagues, and they can go, honestly. Like Ronaldo, maybe win a Ballon d'Or for us before they go. So, look, it is a concern. It is a concern because, let's be real, we are far away from winning Champions League and Premier League currently. But yeah, we need to look at, long term and try to appease and, not just appease, but attract these players and tell them and sell them the project, right? Look, this is United, the whole United way thing. You're going to be a guy here. There, I think, they need to do their, how do you say, PR thing and try or salesman thing and try to sell the project to them. But yeah, it is a concern. I think it is a concern, but we will see. We will see. We need to wait. I wouldn't mind going. Them going after 10 years. After they won, Champions League and few Premier Leagues for United. I don't mind. Like, go, cash in 150 mil each and, go from there. But yeah, it is a concern if we don't do, our project properly in the next decade or so.
I suppose it's better than getting stuck with a Sancho again or something like that, isn't it? Where we get the developed player and they turn out to be really into FIFA.
Okay, so everything Carpy, how you doing, man? So as always said, it would be De Ligt. Yes, best option with Braithwaite. We will go back in for as well. So let's talk about it. Bath time, you said that by 28, someone will be coming to their peak as a centre back. But someone who was at 18 was captain of their club, getting to the semi-finals of the Champions League. And that's our man, De Ligt. Oh. And there's a lot of writing here. It's very small, but I'm going to challenge. This is my challenge today to go for it. So when we talk about De Ligt, obviously that's the other option. It's been believed that De Ligt himself is keen to move to Man United ahead of a possible reunion with Erik ten Hag, a manager he worked with successfully at Ajax. There's already a broad agreement in place over personal terms between Man United and De Ligt's camp. Such is his desire to become the latest addition to ranks at Man United, and the Dutch centre-back is even willing to take a pay cut. Woo! Mr. B would love that, to get the deal over the line. De Ligt's agent is understood to be working hard to secure her client a switch to the 20-time champions. That's us. A recent report covered by the People person relayed that United and Bayern are close to reaching a middle ground over a final fee for the Netherlands international. The report stated that United prepared to fork out 50 million to land De Ligt, but finer details such as structure of the payments and bonuses still need to be trashed out. Bayern Munich sport director Mr. Freund spoke to the media and had his say on De Ligt's imminent move to Man United. This is really crucial here, guys. His comments came amidst dissatisfaction from a section of Bayern Munich's fan base, who have made no secret of their displeasure with the fact that De Ligt is up for sale. Some supporters of Bayern Munich outfit launched a petition which amassed over 60,000 signatures to protest the club's willingness to part ways with De Ligt. He's told Fabrizio Romano, we've got a very good squad. We can't rule anything out, including that players leave. He added, there is no new update, although there's a lot of speculation. So it seems like the Bayern Munich fans actually rate this guy. 60,000 of them have done a petition to say they want De Ligt to stay. So how are we seeing this move? Is the move in the mud? Is this going to be the next saga that's going to drag out over the summer, Dora?
Well, first of all, I thought I had to have glasses for that because it was so much text and so small. Like I needed these grandma specs. But yeah, look, I have prop as well. No, look, I think it's a bit of a concern that, we are kind of looking at that Euro deal. We are prioritizing that Euro deal, even though we know that the Ligt obviously, expressed his will and wish to come to United. He literally said through his agent, "I don't want anyone. I want United." So it's kind of a concern, but I think it's almost a done deal. I think that this is. I think there is no way that Bayern retained the Ligt after the last few months they had. I mean, their board went insane. They have old age crisis. I don't know how to say. They're not middle age. They are quite old, and they lost their minds because they, especially in the last 2-3 seasons, it all started with Nagelsmann being sacked, and they just didn't start from there. I mean, and out of million, Bayern fans, 60,000. Of them signed that, and I'm like, okay, like, don't get me wrong, like, who cares, right? If the guy wants to go, he wants to go. So I think it's a done deal. I think we should prioritize it right now, especially after Real Madrid once again, they are trying to do their thing and hijack a transfer. But yeah, I think we should prioritize the Ligt, especially if he wants to come. And he's Ten Hag's player, Ten Hag loves him. He was his coach, so why not? But yeah, definitely try to sign him as soon as you can, because we need center backs. And at this moment in time, he seems like a really, really good fit for Manchester United.
And do you agree with that, Ade? Because Dora's obviously saying he's a good fit for us, but he's got a bad injury record as well. Seems like Bayern Munich are quite keen to let him go. What are your thoughts on the Ligt situation, Ade?
I want him to join the club. I mean, he wants to join the club. He's ready to take a pay cut. He wants to deal with Man United exclusively. He's not listening to offers from any other club. That is a player that wants to join the club. I'll pick him over Leny Yoro, who is in between. I mean, there was a fear about Yoro leaving a couple of years after to join Real Madrid. Man United is not a feeder club for Real Madrid. We're as big as Real Madrid is. We should be able to keep our players, make them play for years until we decide to let them go. So I want him to join, but I'm a bit skeptical with the injury record, because in our backline we have Lisandro Martinez. He has bad injury record. We have Luke Shaw, bad injury record. We need players who will be able to start game in and game out. We need a solid backline that could playing. I mean, if you could play the entire season, I don't mind. I really don't mind. But I just hope maybe his injury record or his injury history is far behind him now. Let's see. But if he wants to join the club, if he's ready to do all of that, take a pay cut, that is a winning. Let's join the club. I want players that are ready to bleed for the red shirt. I want them to join the club, not just a player thinking, if Real Madrid don't come around and pay the money, then okay, then Man United is my last choice. Man United is not an option. It's either you're joining us or you're out.
Yeah, good talk. I like that. Simon Warner saying here, I still believe we have signed the Ligt. When I see he will believe it's done once he sees it on Sky Sports. Bath time, over to you. I mean, assess the whole situation. Just summarise what's going down and what you expect to happen.
I think that this might be Ineos pulling rank, to be perfectly honest. Like, De Ligt is quite clearly a Ten Hag choice. Like, he's coached him, he knows him, the player wants to come. He's got an impressive CV. He's one of the best passers in football. He's at a good age. It all makes sense. I think that what's happened is that, like, with Nice and the base that Ineos have there, like, Yoro has obviously been on the radar of every top club for the last year or whatever. I think that this is probably Barada, my mate Dan, and the rest of them, like, have all seen that this is that this is the player that is going to explode the most in his age group, and the focus has switched towards Yoro. My concern with all of this is that, like, I'm not suggesting that De Ligt is a narcissist, but I am, and I would be absolutely enraged that the focus was switched from me, having done all the things that Adi said, given all the right signals, said I'm only talking to United, like taking a pay cut, for them then to go and look at some toddler from France, I would be livid.
But you're a diva bedtime. Maybe
I
David
am.
isn't a diva.
I am. I'm an absolute diva. And also, shout out to Everything Carpe. Everything Carpe. I know that that's not Benson, but rest in peace, Benson. It's a very famous fish from near Corby, Amonde.
Right.
The world's he was the people's fish, and he died about 10 years ago.
Was he a carp?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was world famous.
Okay. Was he big? What made him famous? Being a big thing, or
he was massive, and he had a brother called Hedges. So it was Benson and Hedges. Honestly, that's true. And he was just a really famous fish. Like, and there were I remember that loads of TV stations came and did obituaries a long time ago. So shout out to Benson.
Okay. Well, it is a profile picture there, Everin Carpi. The carp is taking up most of the screen. It's out angling himself. You can only see his little head. So that's a big catch you got there. And it would be a good catch for us to get De Ligt. He's saying here, De Ligt played 30 games last season, so he's hardly injury prone. Is it true, Dora, that he's got injury issues? Because I remember he played 50 games for Juventus for one season when I've been looking at it. Is it really an issue for him?
I don't understand his career is kind of weird, right? He went from Ajax, at the height of Ajax, and Ten Hag, and, them going to that semifinals of Champions League. He goes to Juventus, despite them being a really good Italian club, one of the best, and probably, I think historically they have, it doesn't matter. I think historically they have the most trophies or something like that. They are, one of the biggest Italian clubs, of course, but they are a mess behind the scenes, right? And I think it kind of everything kind of escalated when he was there, and he kind of didn't fit what Allegri wanted in the end. On the other side, or next, you have Bayern Munich. Sorry, we say München in Croatian. Bayern Munich, and it's kind of like he came when, if I'm not mistaken, when Nagelsmann was the manager. I think he was starting, if I'm not mistaken. Then he got sacked, and Tuchel came in, and Tuchel decided to play with the three at the back. And I don't remember if, but he wanted to play Upamecano, and then they later signed Kim Min-jae from Napoli. And Tuchel wanted Josip Stanisic to play as that third centre back. However, they loaned him out to Bayer Leverkusen, and then they sold Benjamin Pavard, who just left to Inter Milan. So it was a mess, right? And Tuchel didn't want him to play in the back three. Yes, he got injured a bit last season. I think he missed 6-7 weeks before the Christmas, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it just feels that every time he comes to another club after Ajax, it's always a mess behind the scenes, and it kind of doesn't work for him at all. It's either the philosophy of the managers that he stumbles upon, the whole mess at Bayern, which is, after so many years of having really known managers, and having so many trophies in their trophy cabinet, all of a sudden they are signing a rookie manager in Vincent Kompany. They are signing players that don't necessarily how do you say, they don't necessarily maybe they wouldn't come before if it is Bayern Munich of of the old, right? It feels like they lost their mind. It's like they just want to follow Real Madrid and other big clubs. I don't know what are they doing, in all honesty. And I think Bayern Munich fans are kind of frustrated with it. And I think De Ligt is a fall guy. Now, hopefully, if we sign him, he is going to fit our system, the best. He played in 3 different leagues, European leagues. Hopefully, he will be fit for the Premier League. I believe that we will sign him. But, I agree with Bedtime. If all of a sudden, you are trying to sign me, and all of a sudden you are, looking at the baby, the France, like I would also be a bit, I would sort out, honestly. a bit. I would be kind of disappointed. Not maybe mad, but I would be really disappointed with the way they treat me. And yeah, it will be interesting. It will be interesting. But yeah, I the more I think about De Ligt, the more I want him at the club, because I think he's available, he's there, he's quality, and maybe that for injury record, as everyone says, which kind of put out a lot of red flags. Maybe that won't be the issue for us.
Okay. Right, guys, two smaller stories before we come to like the last story. Do you want the Brazilian or the Nigerian? It's like a meal. What do you want to eat tonight, Dora? Do you want the Brazilian or the Nigerian? What do you want to munch on?
Look, I'm Croatian, right? I'm surrounded by Balkan dishes, not Brazilian and Nigerian. I would love that. I would love both. I would love to try both.
Okay.
But yeah, sorry, I'm not.
No, you're being
familiar.
a typical girlfriend. Says I don't know. I have what you're having. So bath time. What are you having?
I'm having Brazilian steak.
Right,
is Nigerian really spicy? Nigerian is really spicy, right?
Let's chew on
this.
Yeah.
Let's chew on this. All right. Here's the story. Casemiro. Let's quickly get your thoughts on this one, guys. Casemiro says here, I don't want to underestimate the La Liga, but the games in England are much more difficult. Discuss.
He's had both Nigerian and Brazilian food, judging by that picture on the right.
Oh my God.
Does this surprise anyone, though? Like, Adi, what are your thoughts on like the Spanish league compared to the Premiership?
I think I think I've heard other players also say this, make this comparison, and I think it's much more. The football is quite different. I mean, in the Spanish La Liga, it's much more technical. You get to like pass the ball around more. It's much more about your technicality. I mean, your football IQ. You see the likes of Isco doing well in Spanish La Liga, but in the Premier League is much more physical. It's end to end. You can't take your foot off the brake in the Premier League. I mean, you watch games and 1 minute United is attacking, they're about to score. The next minute the ball is in the back of United's net, and like what is going on here? You need to be fast. You need to be fast. You need to be fit enough. You need to be you just have to be everywhere all at once in the Premier League. No disrespect to Spanish La Liga, I mean, but it's much more technical. You just need to be smarter, think smarter, pass the ball better, control the ball much more closer. That's just it. That's what I think, though.
Okay. What are we saying about this? I've heard what you said there. I do agree with you, Addy. Bath time, Dora. I mean, look, he's turned up now, fit and strong. Is he going to have a magnificent season now that he's adjusted to the Premier League, or do you think he just can't hack it anymore?
Unfortunately, I don't believe that. I've watched 20 minutes of that. Like, I know what people are going to say. You are overreacting after first it's 50. It was 15th of July, right? The season starts in a month and a half. But it's just, I think he lost his explosiveness. He lost his speed, acceleration, and I think he's just, he's moving like a tiger tank, literally. Remember, World War II. Germans had, Axis had, huge tank, which was, indestructible, but it was really big, and it didn't move, the best in the right, it was really big, and he's like a bulldozer. Unfortunately, Casemiro, like he lost it. Like sometimes that happens, and unfortunately, it kind of happened to him in the league, which really rates physicality. I agree with that. I think that the reason why everyone rates Premier League so much is because of the physicality, and with the foreign coaches coming in and demanding out of their players to run non-stop. I think that only heightened the obligations and the tasks and other things that force players to run non-stop. And unfortunately for Casemiro, like if Casemiro goes, for example, into the French league, or French league or maybe Dutch league, I don't think he would be that bad. Honestly, I think he would be, a better player for that team. But unfortunately, especially from what Ten Hag wants of his CDM, it feels like he cannot, follow it. And he obviously Ten Hag demands a lot from his midfielders. And I think we should go to the transfer window and sign at least one CDM. Is it going to be Ugarte? I mean, we discussed it multiple times on this channel. Is it going to be someone else? But please, someone who can, be at least, physical enough to withstand the standards of the Premier League. Sorry, I am struggling to find the words. But yeah, La Liga, I think it's a really good league, really entertaining to watch. They kind of prioritize the technicalities, the passing, and it's really good. But I think that Premier League is so physical, hence why everyone says this is the toughest league in the world to play in.
Well, it's good for he's acknowledged it as well. It does draw comparisons. I mean, when you talk about the best leagues in Europe, La Liga's got its own style, as we saw with Spain against England in the Euros finals recently. They've got no identity, and the Premier League's got no identity in the way they play football. Half time, just once again, can you just summarise the differences between the two leagues and how refreshing it is that Casemiro has actually been honest about it and accepted that, this is a tough assignment for him.
Yeah, it's a shame because you've got to think he's the best Brazilian defensive midfielder since probably Dunga.
Oh yeah.
And the issue with the Premier League is that whilst we might not be looking at the greatest footballers in the world, they are probably the most athletic footballers that you'll find in any league. Casemiro has struggled with how to close down players. He appears to be lacking in the techniques that you need to succeed in the Premier League. Still very good in the air, but all his sliding about and things like that, his inability to carry a football, it's very obvious that he plays one or two touches, and United are never set up properly to play any kind of possession-based football. So it's never really going to work out. And I'd really like him to sort of get a happy ending that he deserves, because as much as, we call him the pudding and all these sort of things, I actually, no, I don't, because he let us down in the FA Cup final, so he can bugger off.
Which we won, by the way, All right, next story. We're running out of time. Let's pump these stories out. Be punchy on this one, guys. And this one's really directed at our special guest, Ade. What do you think about this? McClaren Lagos. And this is not a joke. This is actually a true story. Nigerian national team have held talks with Man United senior first team coach Steve McClaren about a vacant manager position. Discuss what's going on in Nigerian football. Would McClaren be a good fit? Over to you, Ade.
Yes, bring him in. I mean, the Nigerian team has loads of talented players, but managing them, finding your best formation, your best setup has always been an issue. Nigeria is still struggling. I mean, struggling to qualify for the World Cup. So if McClaren could do a good job, I mean, he has an impressive CV. Bring him in. I'm in for that.
Okay. Anyway, any other thoughts before we get on to the last topic on McClaren?
Monday, you always talk about football identity. If you were Nigerian, do you think that Steve McClaren's football is going to translate across to that West African football heritage?
What I do think is that what I really do think with the Nigerians and all the top African nations, apart from the North African nations, I think they play different style. I'm talking about the West African teams, Ghana, Nigeria, Senegal, the teams that have gone far or look like they've got a lot of talent talented players playing in the Premier League and in Europe. They are struggling. They just can't get over the line. They will get to a certain point, and then you need some structure, some organization at the highest level, which they've been looking for, seeking for, and you get these high-paid, obscure European guys coming in, doing a good job from time to time. And I think they're more there for the payday and a happy ending. As you say, that's funny what he said. But I will say this. Steve McClaren has got credentials. What he's done, he's not just stayed in one league. He's been in the Dutch league as well. He's managed in England international, in national team as well. So I think it's a good fit. And it's just out of the blue, but I think it would be a good move for Nigerian football. It just means I think you need to be based out there full time. Even though there are a lot of Nigerian players playing in Europe, I think you need to be based in Nigeria to understand the culture. Ain't that right, Ade? The culture in Nigeria, you can't sort of live it unless you're living out there.
I totally agree with you. You need to live in Nigeria, experience the culture. I mean, and also the Nigeria Professional Football League. It's flourishing. There's like lots of talented players out there. So you need to be in Nigeria, walk around, watch the Nigerian league. One or two players from the league too could like help bring in the old Nigerian football flair into it, because a majority of the players in the national team plays in Europe. You have the likes of Iwobi is in Fulham, you pick Osimhen in Italy. There is a clash of a football pattern, so it's left to the manager to decide. And I think McClaren, I think he has the experience already. The Nigerian way of football is it's direct. We don't play this. I mean, it's direct. Cross the ball. You have a top striker. Let him know the ball in. You play with power. You hit shots. If you are strong enough, you hit the shots. Play direct. Don't pass. None of this. Yes, but once in a while, I mean, we have the likes of Okocha, be talented, juggle the ball around, entertain us, make the fans laugh, but you still have to be direct and just keep scoring. In Nigeria, we say attack is the best form of defense. Keep scoring, let them score back, just keep scoring.
Okay. It's great insight there from Nigeria. I will say this. We talk about England and the national team management. This is one. Southgate to United. He's been sacked. Not been sacked, he's resigned now, hasn't he? So we've got Southgate doing the rounds. It's all over the news. He's resigned as England coach, and he has been linked with Manchester United, hasn't he? Do you think he's on the short list still? Do you think he's got the credentials? What sort of level do you think Southgate could manage at? To be honest, guys, it's all right doing it as an FA guy, but I'm not sure about Southgate, what he can deliver.
Oh my God. Okay, I'm ready.
Go on, Doris.
Yeah, let's just talk about this. So obviously, Southgate's being released, or he's resigned. Let me just put these dogs down. They keep making a lot of noise. But Man United are highly unlikely to consider Gareth Southgate as an option. Should be a disaster. Should there be a disastrous start to our season, it's unlikely that he will be shortlisted. This is just the news coming out now. Just brief about this. Ineos entered negotiations with a number of coaches to potentially replace Ten Hag, which is kind of undermining, including De Zerbi, who's gone to a new club now, and Thomas Tuchel as well. But Southgate was always in the mix. But we triumphed in the FA Cup final against City. Our manager's kept his job, even though he came 8th place last season as well. So it doesn't look like Southgate's going to be in this period of uncertainty. While Ineos deliberated over the Dutchman's long-term future, one name who's been consistently linked with us has been Gareth Southgate. He's 53 now. He's known, obviously, for being the England manager. That's where he's really made his name, because when he's at Middlesbrough, he sucked, really. Didn't do much. So these reports do not appear to be accurate. However, as the club's end of season review decided to do a new deal for Ten Hag to keep him on for the short term, there's always the option now that this news has come out, that he's become available, that Southgate could be considered. But the Daily Mail revealed that he's highly unlikely to make a move for Southgate, who resigned as manager today following the Three Lions' disappointing defeat to Spain in Euro. So, guys, what's your thoughts on Gareth Southgate? I know it's always been a no, but has any of you guys sort of got any sort of change of heart for him, considering he's got to 2 finals and a couple of semi-finals? Let's do it clockwise. Dora, start with you and just go around and finish the show by the hour.
He is like English Zlatko Dalic. His career before England is Middlesbrough, right? If I'm not mistaken. He didn't have an impressive managerial career, right? and then he came in, and I think he did something with youngsters, if I'm not mistaken. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have an impressive club career. I mean, it's actually quite poor if you look at the way his teams played, especially Middlesbrough. He is English Zlatko Dalic, who, before he became a Croatian manager. He was at Saudi Arabia. Then he went to Vartex, which is was a club in Croatia here, which was always kind of battling to stay in the first Croatian league. And he didn't have a very impressive club career. And then he came in and he did wonders for us. And Southgate, in my opinion, even though I know a lot of English fans were expecting a trophy, I think he kind of brought back vibes for English national team. And you look much better than you in comparison to the even though you had an insane talent, but it was always a mess 15 years ago, 10 years ago. So I think that's a positive. But at the club level, just stay away from him. Even this tournament, it feels like he doesn't understand the modern football. He doesn't understand, how the fullbacks work, how midfielders work. It feels like he needs to sit down and study, honestly. And that's why I'm saying he's similar to Zlatko Dalic, because he is the same, right? They are the same people, just different nationalities. They don't understand modern football, and I think what they did on the national team level is really impressive. However, please, Southgate, Gareth, please stay away from Manchester United. I beg you. And by the way, what was that puppet? Is that UK Muppets?
It's Gonzo. I've always said Gareth Southgate is similar to Gonzo. You've got the big nose, the waistcoat as well. So yeah, that's basically Gareth Gonzo Southgate.
Okay.
Over to you, Ade. Your thoughts on Southgate? Do you think he would be an option for Man United?
Please keep him away from the club. I mean, the last season was enough. I am not ready to go through all of that again. I mean, he keeps getting in the English team to finals, but at what cost? Boring football, scrappy wins. Like Dora said, he does not understand modern football. So it's let him. He could get a job in the FA. He could get a job maybe any of these on the top maybe the under 10 position close to Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Burnley. I mean, yeah, he could get a decent job at Burnley. You could win 1-0. It's calm, but not Man United, please.
Okay, and finally to you again, bath time. Gareth Southgate, discuss.
I think people are awfully unkind to Gareth Southgate. I believe that his biggest mistake was probably not changing his assistant manager after Euro 2000. I think when you look at people like Fergie, after like losing leagues or like not quite getting over the line, first thing they did was go and get a new assistant. I think when you look at his record, he has won more knockouts than every England manager since Alf Ramsey combined. He's restored like a sort of a connection between the fans and the England team. In my lifetime, England have got to 2 finals in like the last 4 years and haven't been in one before that. I'm not saying that I would want him Man United, but what I do really like about Southgate is that he has a relentless approach to the small details in games, like taking penalties, adjusting England, sort of like focus more on set pieces and things. I wouldn't want him to manage the football club, but I would not be against him like working with Brailsford, who doesn't have football experience, in some kind of capacity. Like I think Southgate is nowhere near as bad as people think, but isn't at an elite level.
It's only you and Andrew Williams who sort of seem to be backing Southgate or saying he's not as bad as people say. The majority of comments are sort of kind of negative towards him. And even Adi said he wouldn't take him for the Nigerian job either. He was asked that as well. So yeah, overall, would you, like you've basically said that Southgate's surpassed all the previous England managers. So he's better than Terry Venables. He's better than Bobby Robson. He's
It's
better
undeniable.
Than Sorry?
It's undeniable. He's surpassed all of them.
Well, I think Terry Venables is a better coach than him. I just think my final thoughts on the Southgate thing. I think he was brought in and he was there to sort of still hasn't resolved anything, but he's there to appease the players, sort of like what Ollie did with Man United, to come in and sort of pat the guys on the back, be their friend, and be charming. And he's a charming guy. I've seen him, in public, and he's a really nice guy, but he's not ruthless enough. And all the criticism.
Rashford might disagree with you.
Yeah, maybe, but all the criticism about him, I think it's valid a lot of the time, because you need to be ruthless at the high end.
Dalek.
Okay, time out. Let's leave it at that. At the end of the show, it's 1 hour gone. We're going to say goodnight. Adi, just say your goodbyes and over to you guys, and I'll shut the show down.
All right, then. Good night, guys. Thank you for having me. It was nice here.
It's like to have you, Adi. And also, Mr. B will be going on Saeed TV, I think. Is it now? Now. So go and wind him up and things.
Dora, last word from you?
I mean, you sound like a Demogorgon from Stranger Things, or like an alien. Or Robocop. Target initiated. Always a pleasure. Nice to meet you, Ade. Very good points tonight, and hopefully we, sign actually, one of those players that we mentioned in the stream. But yeah, have a good one, guys, and thank you for coming and listen to us.
Okay, good night, guys. Hang around, Eddie. We chat to you after the show.